What's up, beautiful people? It's your girl Emem back with another video. So today I'm gonna be giving you a quick and simple jumbo box braids tutorial. I definitely needed to put my natural hair in a protective style, and so I decided to create something simple and easy. So the very first step you want to do is to section your hair into the different sections for the braids. So since this is jumbo box braids, you definitely want to create bigger sections and not really tiny sections. So I created about 12 sections. So I had about 12 braids on my hair, about 12 or 13, and the first thing that I did was to start to create those sections. So for the sections at the back, you definitely just want to use your hands to feel out the hair and try to use your hands to figure out where you want the sections to be. You definitely don't have to be perfect at the back because this will be covered up, but generally I just use my hands to kind of feel what I was sectioning and just make those lines. And then you can always like video yourself the back of your hair and kind of check to see what it looks like. It wasn't completely straight and perfect, but it worked out. So for the front, you want sections to be cleaner and smoother. You don't want it to be as crooked, and you can definitely do this because you have a mirror in front of you now. So definitely stand in front of your mirror and just start to part your hair using your comb and making sure that the lines are super straight and super out there and defined, basically. So I definitely spend more time sectioning the front than I do the back. The back is more about grabbing hair and then just trying your best to make straight lines, while the front, you definitely want to make those straight lines pop because you don't want it to look too untidy in the front. So once you're done sectioning, definitely put your hair into twists. You can also tie it up with some hair ties, but I said to just put them into twists. I use some of my Eco Styler gel as well as my Bantu leave-in conditioner, and then I used, this is the extension hair that I use. I just bought it at my local beauty store. I liked how they already had them in sections, and I went through about two and a half packs, I believe, of hair with that. So now you take one of the sections out of its twist, and then you just start to move section by section. So to each section, you grab some leave-in conditioner and just moisturize your hair as always. And then you grab some gel and you gel the roots of the hair. Since jumbo braids have bigger sections, you definitely want your roots to look clean and gelled down and not frizzy. So that's why you use the gel. So now you grab your extension hair and you divide the hair into two and put that through each other in the way that you see right here. So now you have 3 sections of extension hair. Then you grab the hair the way that I'm grabbing it right here, and that's kind of how you hold the hair to now start braiding. So this is kind of an easier way to do things. People have different ways to do it, but this is just the easiest way to do it. So now that you have the 3 strands of the extension hair, you also want to kind of divide your own hair in the section into 3 strands as well, so that you can attach each of the 3 strands of the extension hair to the 3 strands of your hair. So that's kind of how you attach the extension to your hair, and then you start to braid it into your hair, if that makes sense. And then you just keep braiding down, and definitely natural hair has a tendency to stick out of the braid, but just make sure that you are holding it tight enough so that it actually blends into the braid. The gel also helps you to ensure that it does blend into the braid. So here it is again. You kind of divide the extension into 3, and then you divide your hair into 3. So now you are attaching the extension hair into your hair, and that's kind of how you do that. And you just keep braiding all the way down, and you keep going with the braid. Once you're done braiding, you definitely want to start to trim your hair a little bit. Since they're also jumbo box braids, you're definitely going to have a ton of hair sticking out. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just go ahead and trim the hair. Also be careful not to cut your hair, because your hair is going to stick out a little bit too, and you don't have to cut your own hair off to make it neat. Just leave those hanging out as they are, and they don't really make such a big problem. So here's what it looks like, but it's still stiff. I haven't put it in hot water yet, so you know the next step is to put your braids into hot water to relax them and not allow them to be super stiff. So when you do this, now the braids can be super light and you know, easier to move around. Then you grab your towel, wrap it on the hair, dry the hair out, and you basically have your braids. And this took about an hour, 30 minutes to about 2 hours. Depending on how good you are at braiding, you might have to take a braid out and then try to redo it again. It's definitely all about practice, and the more you do it, the easier it will be for you. So sometimes when I'll put the braid in, it wouldn't work, so I'll have to try it again and again and again. But you know, it all works out at the end, and you just keep practicing to be able to do this at home. So yeah, that's what the hair looks like. This will probably last about 2 to 3 weeks, and then it will start to look a little bit frizzy and untidy. But I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and this was helpful to you, for you to be able to do some box braids at home. Thanks so much for watching this video. I'll see you next time. Love you guys. Have an amazing day. Peace and strength.